In the next few lessons, we will talk about some advanced fillet types in SOLIDWORKS. I have two fillets here. One is a variable radius, and the other is a hold line face fillet. The point in comparing these two is that the variable radius fillet is an arc-based fillet, while the hold line fillet is a spline-based. The reason I know these are arcs and splines is if I edit the sketch where I've taken intersection curves through various planes, the resulting arc has a center point, and this is a telltale sign of an arc or circular section. And if we look at the intersection curves for the other hold line fillet, these are obviously splines. Splines are necessary in certain types of complex fillets because the distance of the edge of the fillet from the corner is not consistent or not equal on both sides. In the variable radius fillet, it's always equal on both sides, and the cross-section is always circular. Let's take a step back and look at how types of fillets were created. First, the variable radius fillet, if I just roll this back, the variable radius fillet is accessed through the regular fillet tool. You select the edge, change the option to variable radius, and then key in a value for every point where you want the radius to change. You can even have a zero radius, but you can only apply zero radius at one of the endpoints. The fillet can transition smoothly or using a straight transition between the different values. It can sometimes be tempting to use variable radius fillets to try to sculpt a part, but I would discourage you from that. I think if you want to sculpt a part, just use surface features. The end product will be much more convincing. The other kind of fillet that was created on this part is called the hold line face fillet, and you'll see why it's called that shortly. With edges on each side of the filleted edge. In this case, the edges are created by split lines, but they could be just model edges, or edges of an adjacent fillet, or edges created by any other means. So let's start this type of complex fillet. The face fillet allows you to select the faces on either side of the edge to be filleted. In many cases where a regular edge-selected fillet will not work, sometimes you can get a face fillet to work instead. There is an option down in the lower panel for hold line. The hold line will allow you to force the fillet to go to that particular edge. You can do it on one side or you can do it on both sides. When you force the fillet on both sides, then you're stepping into a different sort of territory for fillets. It no longer has an arc cross-section because the distances on the two sides are unequal. So it has to be a spline-based fillet. And for that purpose, you have to use the curvature continuous option because curvature continuous is only possible with a spline, not with an arc. So that's why when you use a double hold line face fillet, it always fails unless you use curvature continuous option. Another type of advanced fillet that's slightly less advanced maybe than the two we just saw is the full round fillet. Select one face, hit the right mouse button, select the second face, hit the right mouse button, rotate the view, and select the third face. These have to be selected in order. So the second face must always be the middle face of the fillet. Let's take a look at another full round fillet and see that the geometry does not have to be so constrained. In this case, we've used 2 full round fillets. This was the first one, and this was the second one. Let's roll the second one back so we can see what it looks like. So this is a lofted shape where it doesn't have a continuous section, and the full round fillet still works. So we click on this face, right click, click on the second face, right click, click on the third face.